Hi friends. So I wanted to give you guys an update on the van and just life and my journey and all the things that are going on. So last week, the end of last week, I found the perfect van, the exact one that I want. It's in North Alabama. I've been telling you guys that I can't find these vans in Alabama hardly. So I found one in North Alabama in my hometown. The price was perfect. It was in great. I mean, everything about it was just perfect. And I hadn't seen it all this time I've been looking. And according to like Car Gurus or Auto Trader, one of those, sites, I can't remember, Carfax, whichever one, it said that it had been at the dealership for like almost 3 months. And so I thought, oh wow, okay, they're going to be ready to deal. They're going to be ready to get rid of this thing. So I'm going to go this week and get it. And I just prayed and I was like, okay, God, it's been there for 3 months. It's 4 hours away. So I can't just drop what I'm doing right this second and just go over there and get it. So I was going to go, this week I'm planning to go up there. And so I was going to go pick it up, trade in my car and all the things. And I just asked God, I'm like, if this is the one I'm supposed to get, just hold it for me for another week before I get up there. Just let it still be there when I get there. And so I got up, let's see, that was Friday, I think, or Saturday. I can't remember. And then I got up the next morning and just went and looked again on the dealership's website and, online and everything. And it was sold. After all that time, the day after I find it, it's sold. To say that I was disappointed is an understatement. I was just heartbroken. But I had prayed about it. So clearly either somebody needed it more than I did, or it just wasn't, the one that I needed or whatever. I kind of wonder, because one of the things I was so excited about that particular one is that it was where it was located was in my hometown, and it made it feel very safe and familiar to me. And sometimes I feel like God is trying to break me of things that are familiar to get me to take some leaps of faith and to step out and do some things. So it almost makes me wonder if that's the only reason why, is because it's like, let's get one in a place, in a way that's not as familiar. Let's break, let's get out of our comfort zone and break kind of always gravitating toward the familiar. I don't know. That's just me wondering if that's what that was about. But anyhow. So, I had found several in Georgia. And in fact, the backstory is I had planned to go to Georgia today. In fact, today is Monday. I had planned to go today and look. I had 3 different vans picked out in Georgia that I was going to look at. And they were all these vans are pretty much the same. I mean, there's only like 2 or 3 different options that you could change on them. So it's not like there's millions of things for me to decide. It's basically the same van. The difference is the mileage and the price. And then if I can get one that's certified versus just a used one, a certified one will have a much, much better warranty left on it. So the certified ones are even harder to find. So it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. And the one in Florence that I lost was certified, and it was just, everything about it was great. But anyway, so I had several picked out in Georgia, but I was kind of like, well, the only one that's certified was on the other side of Atlanta. And I was going to have to, I don't mind driving through Atlanta. I've done it a billion times for work and other things. So driving through Atlanta in my car up there would be no big deal. But then having to drive back in this monster of a van that the visibility is going to be different than what I'm used to. And I'm not going to lie, I just really am not looking forward to driving through the heart of Atlanta in that thing at my very first time out on the road. Let's just baptism by fire, right? I mean, I can do it, and if I have to, I will, but I'm just like, that's just not like my ideal situation. So anyway, I just kind of have some hesitations about these in Georgia. It's like, well, I mean, this one's okay and it'll work, but I'm not as excited about either of those as I was about the one in Florence. And so this morning my dad and I were planning to go, and everything, and I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna hit the pause button. Guys, I know it feels like it's taken forever for me to get this van, and trust me, I feel like it's taken forever too, but I'm planning to drive this thing for like 10 years, maybe more, I don't even know. And I'm planning to build it out. So it's like I'm going to put massive investment into this thing, and I need it to be the right one. And I don't know. I just have some hesitation about those. And so I just decided I'm not going today. So I'm just going to keep looking. I really, really would like to find one in Alabama just because of the tax and the registration and title. And I don't really know. I don't know that I want to do that across state lines. Again, I will if I have to. But one thing, and this is where the journey update begins, I'm really realizing that I put so much pressure on myself about everything. And whether it's, it doesn't matter what it is. I just always just put so much pressure on myself. And I don't have to, I'm not, the car I have is fine. I'm not in desperate need. I don't have to just settle and just be desperate for this van. And so I just decided, okay, let's get really serious about looking, but I don't have to feel desperate about it. And so today, my wrist, I can barely move it. I think I have carpal tunnel because jewelry making, you guys, I've been doing a few little videos and I've posted a couple things here and there, but I haven't done any full out process videos for y'all yet about making spoon jewelry. And I will do some because I have been doing some videos, but y'all, it is rough. I mean, if you want to work out, I'll come over here and I'll put you to work with some spoons because it beats my body up to make spoon jewelry. So I can only do it. Again, I put pressure on myself. And so sometimes I will just push and push and push and make. I had to go to the doctor a year or so ago because I got golf elbow and tennis elbow at the same time in this arm. So I had to go get treatment for that. And now I think I have carpal tunnel in this wrist. So I'm trying to okay, I've got to get some stuff made because I'm restocking Studio 23 in Florence. My intention is to take a ton of stuff up there and restock. So I need to get stuff done before I go up there. But here we are. Here we find ourselves with this wrist. And so I'm trying to just be like, okay, what can we get done? Let's rest our wrist a little bit and, let's just chill out about it. And y'all, I used to be this way about weight loss and just everything I do. I always just have had this compulsion for it to be perfect, and I just will just go until I burn out or kill myself or just really get sick or whatever. And I've mentioned that I've been sick. I got really, really sick last year, and a lot of that has been tied to food allergies that I have discovered. And so in trying to get better and allow my body to heal, obviously I've been working on changing what I eat and all of that. But one of the things that I've been having to do in this whole process is to learn how to manage my energy. And I've been working with a nutritionist and a vitality and life coach. And she has been so good for me because she challenges me to rest even in my energetic moments. Because what was happening to me is I would get energy and I would feel so good because I hadn't had energy for so long that it would almost make me feel hyper. And then I would just fly in and just go crazy doing everything. And then I would have a crash. And so I was just constantly having spikes and crashes and spikes and crashes. And so she's like, you need to be intentional about rest. And so that your body can start to level out. And then you can just have a sustained level of good energy all the time. And that's something that I'm still kind of learning how to do. And part of that is me putting pressure on myself. I get in my head that I've got to get this done, and I've got to, I set these goals or these aspirations that are just crazy ridiculous, and then I just kill myself trying to get, to accomplish it or whatever. So I mentioned in another video earlier that there was an art show that is in October that I was going to try to apply to. The art show had actually commented on some of my artwork on Instagram and said, you should apply. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is a prestigious show. This is amazing. And I was just, you can't make 50 paintings in 6 weeks and expect them to be any good. That's just not how it works. And so in order to apply by the deadline, I would have to just create all this stuff. And you guys, I'm still working out my process with painting. I'm still trying to solidify my voice as a painter. I've been painting since I was 9 years old, and I've painted in every kind of a style and way, and I'm just exploring. And to be successful in an art show, it's really helpful to have a cohesive collection, as you would in like a fashion show, where it looks like everything is made by the same person, and that it kind of has that feeling where it goes together. And I'm still just, gosh, what's happening to my voice? I'm still just exploring and learning and processing, and I don't have a super strong painter's voice yet because I'm still trying to find it. And one of my biggest things is I never want to make paintings to sell. And what I mean by that is, if I paint something from my soul because it's just in me and I have to get it out and I just pour myself into it, that painting is going to be so much better. But if I just make something to sell, it feels kind of gross and it feels stiff and off and wrong. And when you look at a work, you may not realize it, but if you look at a painting that somebody, or a piece of art that somebody really made from their soul, you're going to connect with it. Even if it's not your style, there's something about it that's going to hook you. Whereas if you look at something and you're like, well, they probably painted it for somebody else, or they painted it to sell because they were trying to just build inventory or whatever. There's just a difference. There just is. And that is not what I want to put out into the world. So in that, I have decided I'm not going to apply to that show this year. I'm going to take those 38 paintings and I'm still going to keep working on them. I'm still going to keep building up, my painter muscles. I'm still going to continue to paint. But I just have to do it for my soul, you guys. And doing it that way just takes a lot longer. And so I got to stop putting pressure on myself. Nobody has told me I have to do any of this stuff, right? So, I don't know why I always feel like I need to be in a rush and all that. So that's where I am. Trying to have grace for myself, trying to allow myself, time to just be able to grow and enjoy and let my personality just flourish and come out and do and be and all the things. And anyhow, you guys, that is where we are. So I'm still looking for the van. I'm still painting, still making jewelry, still doing all the things. My food is still being redeemed and repurposed. I still have not posted my sausage ball recipe for you guys, but I promise you that I'm going to put it up this week. It's exciting to me that my food is being redeemed and repurposed, because that was another area that I put all this pressure on myself. And the funny thing is when I stopped putting pressure on myself and I actually paid attention to what my body needed and I started to treat it that way and stop eating all these things I'm allergic to, the weight loss, it just happened without me even trying. It's still happening. And so I just need to. So if you're feeling frantic today and you're putting all this pressure on yourself and you're feeling a little meh and crazy, I just want to invite you to join me in the just take a breather. Because you know what? We're amazing. You're amazing and I'm amazing. God made us with great intention. He put us here with purpose. There's something in me and there's something in you that the world needs. And I think he put all of us together and we're like a big giant puzzle piece. And you need what I have and I need what you have. And we need to be doing all this stuff and putting it out into the world because that's how God made us to be. And so we're just enough the way we are. You know what I mean? And we can grow and learn. And of course we want to stretch and develop and get better and all of that. But y'all, can we just have some grace for ourselves today, right? Can we just have some grace? And sometimes things like vans and dreams and things, they seem to slip away. But you know what? God has got us. He is working on some stuff. And y'all, anything can be redeemed and repurposed into something beautiful. In this van situation, it is going to be redeemed and repurposed because I am going to find the van. And you mark my words, there's going to be a video in the future where I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't get that van in Florence because look what I found. And it's going to be amazing. And then we're going to have all these crazy adventures in this van. And we're going to go to art shows and go explore and see and do and paint and make all the things. It's coming. So even when there's disappointment, it's going to be redeemed and repurposed into something beautiful. I'm telling y'all, it really, really will. So anyhow, you guys, that's where we are. I hope you have an amazing day. Don't forget how amazing you are. And give yourself some grace today and just along with me as I try to learn to do that myself. Thank you guys so much for watching. I would love it if you would subscribe and hang out with me over here on YouTube. I'm having the best time making some videos. Thank you guys again for being here, and I will see y'all later.